Hey everyone, this is Kelly Richmond with Kelly Richmond Scrapbooking. I am a Creative Memories advisor, and I am so excited to bring you this product. This is Creative Memories Bow and Envelope Creator, and it actually came out in October and then quickly went out of stock, and it just came back in stock. And so I wanted to show you some fun projects to do and make with this bow and envelope creator. So we're going to do 5 different products or projects with this little thing today. So I'm super excited. Let me show you a couple things that we're gonna do. So this is super fun. It makes these really cute envelopes. So if you make cards at all, this is a 5x7 card from one of Creative Memories kits, and it came with paper for me to make the envelope. And so we're gonna make these little envelopes. And you can make envelopes of all different sizes. So we're gonna actually make 2 envelopes today, as well as these cute little bows. Look how adorable these little bows are. And you can use these for gifts. You could put them in your scrapbook if you kind of lay them flat. There's lots of different possibilities. We're also going to make a tag, a little tag envelope or holder that would be super fun to put in your album. And then we're also going to make a box that you could put like little treats or something in. So should be super fun. So grab a notebook. That way you can take some notes, or you can of course refer back to this video at any time. So let's get started. We're going to start with making the envelopes. Now, before we start with making envelopes, I want to tell you about this really awesome deal that Creative Memories has going on right now, where they have this in a bundle. You can get the bow and envelope creator along with the boning folder, which is super nice for making super nice creases. And then it also comes with these paper packs that are perfect to make 5x7 envelopes, the slimline 3.5 by 8.5, and then also your standard 4x6 envelopes. So it's a super good deal. You can get it in a bundle with all of these things. You can also buy them separately, but this is a great way to do it, okay? So let's get started. Like I said, this is a 5x7 envelope. We've already made it. So I'm going to set that aside, and we're going to start with just making this cute little envelope for this cute little card that I created. This is considered a slim line, and so this card measures 3.5 by 8.5. Now, Creative Memories made it really awesome for us, and they have a chart right here on the board for us to figure out exactly what size paper we're going to need, okay? So since this card is 3.5 by 8.5, you're going to find that size right here on your card size. So here's a 3 by 8.5. There's also, so let's go a little bit farther down and see if we can find right here, 3.5 by 8, which means I need a 9 3/8 inch square piece of paper, okay? And I'm going to punch it at the 3 1/8 punch guide. Now, like I said, they've already made it really super easy for me, and they have this cute little craft paper already at the perfect size. So I'm just going to choose one of these. Let's do something fun like this. So this will be the outside. This is going to be the inside. And to start out with, super fun. All you remember, here's your measurements, 3.5 by 8.5. We need 9 3/4 pieces of square paper, and we're going to put it on the 3 1/8 inch. So this is the line that is the measurement that it's talking about. So we're going to take this corner, we're going to line it up with 3 1/8 right there. We're going to pull our little guides out for us to do our little, oh gosh, I'm drawing a blank. Little creases, what do you call them? Score lines, sorry. So we're gonna line this up at 3 1/8 inch And this has the cross that we're going to need. So we're just going to take our little tool, and it fits perfectly in that spot, has a little ball on the end, and you're just going to run it down and score those lines. So cross the top and down the side, okay? Now to create an envelope, if you've started on this side, you're going to go directly across to the other side and flip it over, put it at the same measurement, 3 1/8, okay? And then we're going to score it again. Whoops. All the way down, okay? It's easy as that. Now, I don't know if you can see the score lines or not, but I certainly can see the score lines. And all the places that the score lines intersect, I'm just going to put this back because I'm all done with it, is where we're going to punch, okay? And this is cool because it has the punch right here on the board, which is awesome. Now, as you can tell, let me get this a little closer so you can see. There are these little notches right here and here that I'm going to line my little score lines up. And there's also a notch right here in the center so that I can try and get it centered as best as I can. And I can feel it as well as see it. So I'm going to just line it up. See if I can hold this up so you can see a little closer. See, my score line is right here, and I'm just lining those score lines in with those two little notches, okay? So I'm going to set it there, and I'm going to punch. And I'm going to do that to all 4 corners, and it just cuts out a little notch. This is the notch punch. Okay, so I'm going to do those 4 spots where it intersects. Make sure it's lined up properly. Okay, super fun. Now this is another cool thing. I can either leave my corners at a 90-degree angle, or if I want it to look really cool and really professional, I'm gonna round these corners. But guess what? There is a corner rounder right here on the same punch. All I have to do is load it from the back side. So I'm just gonna do that, and look, perfectly rounded corners. Isn't that amazing? Okay, now once that's done, I'm going to move this out of the way, sweep off my little punch stuff. I'm going to flip this over, and I'm going to take my boning folder and just crease all my lines really nicely. All right, so there we go. Now, as you can see, because of it's so big, we are going to have to trim some off. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my pencil right here, and I'm just going to mark it because I want to make sure that I'm not going too far, okay? So I'm going to grab my trimmer, and I'm going to try as best as I can to line this up on one of the lines so it's halfway straight. And I'm going to get close to that line, and I'm just going to trim it. Okay. And I'm going to do the same on this side as well. Now on a normal card, like a normal size greeting card, either a 4x6 or a 5x7, you would not need to do this. Can't even see where I marked. Oh, I'm way down here. All right, so then I could fold that in like that and then fold it down. So I'm just going to put a little bit of adhesive from here, and I'm going to be generous on my adhesive because I want to make sure that my envelope stays together. Okay, there we go. And then I have this cute little envelope for my card. Then I can write on the front. Okay, so there's that one. That's the slimline. Super fun. Now let's do one more, because this one we're going to have to actually cut the paper. So I just took this little a little tiny, this is actually one of the mats that come in the mat pack if you, for a collection. And this is from the, one of the birthday collection that we currently have, the party time collection. And I just took one of the mats and I folded it in half and made this cute little card. And it measures in at 3 by 4, okay? So I'm gonna pull this back over here and I'm gonna find that 3 by 4. So 3 by 4, if my card is 3 by 4, then I need a 6 and 1/8 inch square, okay? So I'm gonna grab one of these. Ooh, this stripe is fun. Let's do this one. Make sure it's big enough, yep. And we're gonna cut this at 6. Let me double check. I'd rather check twice, cut once. It's 3 by 4, so I need 6 and 1/8. So I'm gonna just put it here on my trimmer at 6 and 1/8 inch. Trim it, turn it to 6 and 1/8, and trim it. Okay, so now my paper's ready. I'm gonna pull my board out again, my envelope board. Pull my little stylus out. Now the cool thing is the directions are actually right here for you to follow. And it even has your step-by-step little pictures to show you exactly how to make your envelope, which is awesome. Okay, so we're gonna go back up here again, 3 by 4. We need to mark it at 2 3/4 of an inch. So I'm gonna line my paper corner up here at 2 3/4. And looks like I'm not gonna need to pull my little bars out. Whoops. Let me reline that up. Score it. Now remember, opposite corner, 2 3/4. Score it again. I'm just gonna double check because I'm second guessing myself. Yep, 2 3/4. All right. Now remember the cross sections where we're gonna punch. Might be easier to see on this side, so I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to line my score lines up with these little notches, and I'm going to punch. Think how fun it would be to, if you're giving a gift card as a gift, just to make a cute little envelope for it. Okay, there it is. Now I'm going to round my corners. So again, you put it up in the top. So this is a multi-purpose little punch board here. Super, super fun and cute. Okay, I'm going to set that aside. All right, I want this on the outside, so this is going to be the inside. So I'm going to fold it. Let me put that back so it doesn't get lost somewhere in my mess. Now, if you had the multi-purpose tool, you could probably do it with the multi-purpose tool. But this, because it's specifically for it, it works so slick. All right, so my card's like this. Maybe I'll do a top. So that would be really cute. So I'm going to actually leave this flap for the opening at the top. So I'm going to put some adhesive here and here. And I think I went over the edge just a little bit. I'm going to put a little more adhesive right here. Okay. There we go. And then when I'm ready to send it, I can just put another little piece of adhesive here, put a sticker here, and look, I've got this cute little card. Isn't that adorable? Okay, so that's how you make the envelopes. Super fun. So that's project number 1 is the envelopes. So here we've made the envelope for a 3 by 4 card. This is for the slim line card right here. Super fun. And then this is a 5x7. Cool thing is this board, pretty much any card size, it's going to tell you exactly the size of paper you need and where you're going to line it up to make your scored lines. Okay, so super fun. So let's now move on to making these cute little bows. And I literally just found some of the scraps from my party time collection to make these little bows. I am going to make the medium-sized bow. I have this one little scrap of paper. Isn't that great? It's right at 1 1/4. The paper measurements for what you need to make the bows is right here in this little section. So I have a 1 1/4. So I'm going to make the medium-sized bow because I don't have the medium-sized bow made here. So I need, the paper width is 1 1/4, which is what I have. And then I need a 7-inch for piece A and a 4-inch for piece B. So I'm going to grab my trimmer here, put this in, put it at the 7-inch. So that's the first piece. And then I need a 4-inch piece. So I'm making this bow literally out of one little leftover strip of paper. And then length C, it's still at 1 1/4 inch, but we need a 1/4 of an inch little tiny sliver. So I'm going to line it up right there and cut it. Little itty bitty tiny piece, okay? So I'm going to set my trimmer aside. Now we're going to get this out. You're going to start with A. And look, there's a picture right here on the board that shows you exactly what piece A is going to look like, okay? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fold it in half because I need to get the center. Okay, so I'm going to put a little crease right there in the center. Now I need to use the notch punch to punch the 4 corners, okay? Instead of putting it on these lines, I'm going to line this edge right here with the center mark on the punch because I only need half of it. Okay, so it's going to do that little notch. I'm going to flip it over for the other side, line it up, flip it, line it up with the little center notch, flip it. Okay. Now I need the center and I'm going to do a regular notch. So I'm going to line up my crease right with that center little mark and punch. And then I'm going to flip it over and do it again on the other side. So then I have this, it looks kind of like a little bow tie. Okay. So that's piece A. For piece B, we need the little notch to go this way. So we're going to turn our, before we do that, we're going to fold it in half again, make that little crease. It doesn't need to be a sharp crease. We just need to mark where it's going to be at. Then I'm going to put my paper in on this end. I'm just going to kind of eyeball it, try and make it centered. So see, then I have the little, this is the little ribbon pieces, this piece right here. And then once again, I'm going to turn to the center, line up my little marks with my center fold and notch it. So now my A looks just like this. My B looks just like this. And number C, we're going to use as the little piece that puts it together. Okay. So now I want this polka dot to show. So I'm going to flip this over. I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive right here in the center. And then I'm just going to fold this up to make the little loop in the bow. And I'm just going to try and match it up as best as I can, these edges. So then I've got this cute little bow, okay? Now I'm going to put a little bit more adhesive on this side. Whoops, got a little bit too much. We'll fold it back over. And then we're going to match it up with this piece. Okay, so there we have our cute little bow. Now this little piece right here is going to go right here in the center. So I'm going to put a little bitty tiny bit of adhesive if I can. didn't get it. Let's try it again. There we go. We're going to put that there in the center. We're going to flip it over, put a little bit more adhesive on the back, and fold it. And fold that over. And there we go. Look at the cute little bow. Okay, so that's project number 2, the little bows. This is an extra small, this is a small, this is a medium, this is an extra large. We still have no, this is an extra large. We still have an extra large. So it looks like there's 6 different sizes of bows that you can create with the envelope and bow maker. Okay, so that's that. Now let's go on to our next project. This one's really simple, really easy. This is just called a little tab, and these tabs are perfect to go on like a peekaboo pocket, on the edge of a peekaboo pocket, so that you know to flip it, okay? So this is super easy to make, like ridiculously easy to make. All you're gonna do is you're gonna start with this is just a 2" by 2" square piece of paper, and I'm going to fold it in half. I'm going to do the yellow side this time, and I'm gonna go ahead and crease it. Now here is my folded edge, and I'm going to put it into my notch punch, right the folded edge up here at the top, and I'm going to put it lining this edge up with that center line on the punch, and I'm going to punch it. Then I'm going to flip it over and do the same on the second side. Okay, and then there I have it. And then all I need to do is put a little adhesive on both sides, and then say this was my peekaboo pocket. I can just line this up like this and fold it over, and there I've got this cute little tab. Isn't that fun? Okay, so project number 3 is tabs. These tabs are super, super easy. Isn't that fantastic? Okay. Next, I'm going to show you how to make this cute little tag. You guys, this is so easy. Now, if you have our 3-in-1 tag maker, you probably wouldn't need this, but you are limited on the sizes that you can make with that tag, the 3-in-1 tag maker. So this, we're going to make one of these little tags, and you can pretty much do any size that you want. Okay, so all I did is I took a little bit of cardstock here. This is our beige cardstock, and it's measuring at 3.5 by 5. Okay, so it's a pretty wide tag, but this would be super fun to put on a gift or anything like that, or even to go in your scrapbook. So super easy, super fun. Okay. So it is a little bit bigger than what you'd normally do as a tag, but I wanted you guys to be able to see it, and so we could demonstrate how this works. Okay, so 3.5 by 5. I have another piece of paper that I did just 1/8 of an inch smaller, but I need to trim it. So I'm going to do just 1/8 of an inch shorter than 5. So right there, and we're going to trim this off so that it's exactly, so it just barely skims around the edge. Okay, so then you're going to take your envelope and bow creator, and all you're going to do is, just like we did with the tab, we're going to do the same thing to make our little tab and tag. That's hard to say. Say that 10 times fast. So same thing, you're going to take and line this edge up with the center line on the punch, and you're going to punch, and then flip it and do the same thing on the other side. Okay, so I'm going to leave this one square. This one I rounded using the corner rounder. This one I'm going to leave square. Okay, but I'm going to do the same thing to this piece of paper that's going over top, because I want it to mimic the same shape. So I'm going to do exactly the same thing, and it should fit perfectly because it's already cut to just that 1/8 of an inch smaller. So it's going to look great. And I'm going to do the big polka dot side this time. I'm going to put some adhesive on it like that, because you can decorate your tags just about however you want. This one I just did fun. This one, for the sake of time, we're not going to decorate. But all you need to do next is you're just going to find your plain old boring office hole punch. And you're going to punch a hole right there in the top of the center of the tag. And then this is just baker's twine that I've got. You could use ribbon. You could use a little sliver of paper to make this. And then all I do is loop it like this, put the two ends together with the loop down here, thread it through, stick it through the loop, and pull. Okay, so there you have your little cute little tags. Now this would be super fun. You could even do this exactly like this, leave this one decorated, put a picture on this one, and put it in your album just like that, and it'd be super cute. Or you could make this cute little envelope for these to slide into. And see, it has this little notch here, so it's really easy to see that these are supposed to come out. So we're gonna make this little envelope right here, okay? So I know that these little tags are 3.5 by 5. So I made this just a little tiny bit bigger because there's some adhesive down here on the bottom. So I made this at 5.5 inches tall, and I added a little bit more. So I wanted it to be 4 inches wide. So I doubled it 4 inches, and then I added a 1/2 inch to make a little tab in here that we're going to use for glue. Okay. So here I have my piece of paper cut for my little envelope. So it's 5.5 inches tall by 8.5 inches wide. Now, what we're gonna do is to make this, the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna pull out our trimmer, and we're gonna need our scoring blade. So we're gonna easily just take this blade out, put the scoring blade in, and we're gonna need to score the 1/2 inch on this side, okay? And all that does is just puts a little crease in it. It's similar to the board, but able to do on your trimmer, okay? Then I'm gonna slide it over, because then I need this 8 inches that are left, and I need a score mark in the middle, so it'd be 4 inches from this side. And I'm gonna also score it there, okay? So now that that's scored, I'm gonna take this out, put my regular blade back in. And this blade, look at a little extra fun, stores right there in the bottom. All right, so we've got our score marks. So we're just gonna fold this up right there on the score lines. Okay. So now we need to make these little notches. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it back on my board here, and I'm just gonna take and I'm gonna mark it at the 1 inches in from either side. Okay, this is the back, so we're gonna ignore that for now. And then we're going to pull this out, and we're gonna use our notch punch. And we're gonna just line up that little mark, slide it in as best we can, and make a little notch. Do the same thing with this side, make a little notch, okay? Now all we need to do is just trim that little piece off. So I'm gonna take it here in my trimmer. I'm gonna line it up with the cut line, and very carefully, if I can, not going too far, I'm gonna trim that off, okay? And it's not perfect, that's okay. If I needed to, I could take my scissors and trim it up, but that's, it'll be fine like that, okay? So now you have this little tab here, and we're gonna use photo tape. And the photo tape is a little bit stronger. And we're gonna put photo tape right here on this edge. Whoops, didn't quite get enough. And then we want to close the bottom because we don't want anything to come out. So we're going to put a little bit tape down here on the bottom. Okay. Grab the multi-purpose tool to lift this up. Pull that off. And then we've got the adhesive that's stuck to the cardstock. Oops. Okay, now we're just gonna close that up, and there is our fun little pocket. Okay, now I just learned this technique like 2 weeks ago, so I thought it was fantastic. Thought it would be fun to share. So there you've got your little tag envelope or little tag holder with the little notch out. Like I said, this would be super fun to put in your scrapbook as a little bit more interactive. Put a photo on there or something fun like that, or just put it on a present. You could even put, you know, some little decorations on this front little envelope too, okay? So there's the next. So we've done an envelope, a bow, a tab, a tag envelope. Now is to the fun part, the little box. Isn't this adorable? Okay, so you need a little treat box, you know, to put something in, or cookies or something like that. Now this box I made a little bit big, and I was hoping to put a little piece of designer paper around it just to add a little bit more to it. But I made it so big that the paper doesn't fit around. So we're gonna do a little bit smaller size, okay? So what you're gonna do is you're gonna start out with a piece of 8 by 8 inch paper. And we're gonna do it out of these dots. So we're gonna trim our paper at 8 inches by 8 inches. Now keep these scraps, because these scraps could be used to make a bow, right? Super fun. All right. Now, we're gonna grab our envelope and bow creator, and we're gonna grab our little stylus, make sure we pull our little things out. Now remember, when we made an envelope, we started in one corner and scored and then did the opposite corner, right? So we're gonna line this up on the 3 inch mark, and we're gonna go ahead and score. The difference is we're gonna do this to every single corner and watch the magic happen. Okay, so 2 corners, this is the 3rd. So we're gonna have a whole lot more intersecting lines because we're doing 4 corners instead of just the 2 opposite corners like we do when we do an envelope. Okay, so hopefully you can see we've got all these score lines, and we're going to go ahead and fold it. We're gonna fold it on all of the lines, all of the score lines that we did. And you'll be able to see that we're also making the sides as well as the top and the bottom, okay? So there we are. Now, if we were to fold it, you can see these little corner pieces are kind of getting in the way. So what we're gonna do, before we do that, we're gonna go through and we're gonna notch it same thing. Anytime there's that intersection, we're going to notch it. And there's going to be 2 notches per side because there's 2 places that they intersect. And remember, we're just lining these little, these little marks right here on the notch punch up with the score lines as best as we can. Whoa, that one was way off. Now that we've got that done, now here we've got these 4 little funky corners. And what we're gonna do is we're just gonna take our little scissors here, and we're gonna cut down one side right on the score line. And this side though, we're gonna cut in to make this little tab, okay? So I'm just gonna do the same thing on each side. Create the little tab, this straight edge right on the score line, create the little tab, and last one, score line, create the little tab, okay? We're gonna use these little pieces, these little flaps with adhesive to keep our little box together, okay? So, I'm gonna flip it over. This is the outside because I want my little tabs to be hidden. So I'm gonna put some adhesive on those 4 little tabs. And then I'm just going to put it together. And kind of press hard. And look how cute. Okay. You could put a little bit more adhesive right there. It is kind of flimsy, but once you put little items in there, it's going to be great. We could easily take this. I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive on here. Squeeze it. Squeeze that down. Now, if I wanted to do these little put a little bit of adhesive. Oh, let's do it on here. Crease my corners a little bit. Okay, and then I could put this cute little bow on it. And look how adorable. Isn't that so fun? So here we got 2 different size boxes. You pretty much can do any, close to any size. You just need to make sure that it's square. And this one I did the same thing. I did the 3-inch, I lined it up with a 3-inch mark. And because different size paper gives you a different depth of your box. So you can just play around with the different measurements just to see the difference that it makes, okay? So there you go. We've got boxes, we have tags, we have tag holders, we have tabs, we have bows, and the super fun envelopes. Okay, so there you go. I hope that you'll see what a value this little board becomes with the punch corner. It has a corner rounder and the notch punch on both sides. It's super, super fun. If you need more information about the bow and envelope creator, please let me know, and I'd be happy to give you a little bit more information on it. So I hope you try some of these projects. If you do, let me know. Post it in our Facebook group. It'd be really fun to see some of the projects that you create with this little fun tool here. So hope you guys have a great day and happy scrapping. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.